Ho, 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 and welcome to the first ever Christmas Poor Decisions.
That's a terrible way to talk about your mother. Welcome to our first ever. Yeah, it's amazing. We've made it this far, and it's the first of what we hope will be many Christmas episodes where we come to you in your homes and share Christmas with you.
Our warm, beautiful, regional tones, filling you with Christmas cheer and drinks information.
And as you can see, there is no expense spared. We have a fine tree behind us that producer Dan took a saw to yesterday. I believe he was up in the woods in Meath. He cut this down.
Yeah, it is a real tree, and that'll be made into some form of a cocktail.
As you can see, we have some cinnamon here. We have some dehydrated lemons up along there somewhere. Yeah, it's all very nice.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this one today. Like the last time we were together, we did a live show.
Yeah.
Now it's our Christmas show. I feel like we're growing as this podcast is evolving through the year and the seasons.
Yeah, or whatever. But no, I think it's very cool. It's very.
I
cool.
thought it was like Christmas is a time to reflect on the year that has gone by.
You're getting awful philosophical in your old age.
Yeah,
aren't
do you think?
You grow a beard and you think you have a bit of wisdom or something.
But yeah, like Christmas, like when it comes to drinks, Christmas is almost like the time of the year that everyone gets involved. Those who have never drank before.
And I feel like December has just extended out and there's so much stuff on in December. I'm so tired. Stop inviting me to things. But I love it. But at the same time, it's every night in December. I'm like, oh my God.
That's where you're constantly in your pajamas.
This is a fantastic shirt. Look, it has pigs. I think there's a llama somewhere. There's a flamingo. You know, what says Christmas like flamingos?
Yeah, flamingos dressed as reindeers. I actually do. Oh, there's a swan with a Christmas hat. Very good.
Yeah, see?
But yeah, Christmas is that time of the year where, some people say that people train for the month of December. When you work in hospitality, they're like batten down the hatches. All the part-time drinkers and partiers are coming out, and it is intense.
Yeah. Trying to get a taxi is intense.
It is mad. Like, I was in Edinburgh there at the weekend, and it was just like crazy, the Christmas vibes. Even walking through Dublin today, and like Belfast a couple of days ago. Like the Christmas season is in full swing. Christmas parties, 12 pubs, pints, bottles of champagne, cocktails.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about Dublin is people got into the spirit early. They lit bonfires all over the city. And it was beautiful. But no, I was looking forward to talking to you particularly because I wanted to talk about how people in other parts of the world celebrate Christmas.
And normally we don't. No, we do. Yeah. So I call it Boxing Day. That's it.
Do you actually call it Boxing Day?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Like very few of us will call it St. Stephen's Day. Like we all obviously understand it. And if somebody say, "Oh, what are you doing St. Stephen's Day?" Be like, well, I would answer the same way. But yeah, 9 times out of 10 you'll say Boxing Day.
Yeah, because even you'll see a lot of the Irish commentators and stuff when they're on a UK TV. And they'll say, if they say Boxing Day, they get absolutely eviscerated on Twitter or whatever. X.
Yeah, even when I say it to you, you look at me, and I'm not trying to do it as like
yeah,
which wouldn't be unlike either of us to do that. But yeah, I've always called it Boxing Day.
Dial it back a little bit. Let's bring it back to the drinks side of things.
Yeah.
What's usually the first drink you have on Christmas Day?
Bucks Fizz.
Okay.
Yeah, Mum's always done it. Mum doesn't really drink.
Okay.
Again, but at Christmas, it's different. Yeah, fresh orange juice, some champagne, something else. That's actually such a lie. Mum will hate me saying it. She buys it straight.
Oh, you get the bottle from Tesco or whatever.
Yeah, Marks and Spencer's, Tesco.
Oh, sorry. Didn't realise how middle class you were. Yeah.
You should.
I enjoy, last year, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
I sent you a photo actually. I put on a whiskey for breakfast t-shirt. I opened a bottle of whiskey at 9 o'clock in the morning. I put on Tiesto in the kitchen and my sister came in and was like, "Do you know what time it is?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm fully aware." So yeah, that's part of my Christmas tradition.
I will actually say that you sent me that on WhatsApp, that video, and I remember like looking at it and thinking it was the most hectic way to start a Christmas day. I was like, you're looking for trouble.
And I was, and I found it. But Irish coffee is always a good one to have.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So I suppose on Christmas Day, like how I would kind of look at the drinks, the day of drinks would be, something like bubbly and fresh in the morning. Maybe there's a walk there. Obviously, the dinner partly controls the day.
Yeah,
for people.
because I mean, people in the north love marching, so I guess.
There's never a better day. And then, I always think an Irish coffee for me on Christmas Day is like the later end. So,
okay, a post dinner.
Yeah. So around maybe the after eights sort of, because I don't do the cheese course.
Okay.
Not my vibe. I like pizza, cheese.
And that's about it, really.
Yeah, pretty much. But that around that stage, so it's like later in the day, I'll do the Irish coffees.
Well, we have a surprise for you. I'm going to give you an Irish coffee now. Is that all right with you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sure, would you look at that?
Somehow, through the magic of the internet, we now have Irish coffees in our hand. Boom. Agostina, thank you very much. She's made the Irish coffees. Producer Agostina has made them specially.
This is the first Alma Irish coffee I've ever had.
Oh, really? Yeah. Let's
Cheers, sláinte. Nice. I know. Oh, smell the nutmeg on top. Did you get that?
That's good. That's lovely.
Fun fact about nutmeg.
Go on.
It's actually a seed. Seed meg is what it should be called. You've all been lying to me for years.
I can see why this podcast doesn't do as well as we'd like it to,
Sure.
Go on. It's class. Go on. Tell us a little bit about the history of the Irish coffee.
Okay, so history of the Irish coffee. We pretty much we kind of brush over possible places of origin because there's a place in Dublin. The Dolphin Bar, they claim to have invented the Irish coffee.
I don't think that exists anymore.
I think there's a lad in Donegal says he invented the Irish coffee.
Yeah, fair enough. Of course there is. There's always a lad in Donegal says he invented something.
But I think overall, we're kind of, as a whole industry, we all accept that it was invented or first came about in Foynes Airbase in Limerick.
Well, Clare.
I think it's Limerick.
I think you'll find the people of Foynes will say it's Clare. But
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go with Limerick. And for anyone who is a big watcher of this podcast, that's not our producer. We have gotten places and counties wrong
many times. And I've been to Foynes. We went in on a ship. And I still can't actually remember. It's on the Shannon.
Nice, no worries. I'm just going to say it's Limerick because I'm right. So Foynes Airbase, story goes that the flying airboat was coming in, was leaving. It was going to America, bad weather, turns around. All the crew get told, get the kitchens ready. The crew the passengers are coming back. And Joe Sheridan was the head chef at the time. And put the ovens on or whatever, and realised that the guests would be really cold. So he brewed up some black coffee, put in some sweetened sugar, floated some cream, and then put some Irish whiskey into it. One of the passengers getting off was trying it and was like, is that a Brazilian coffee? Because Ireland wasn't the first to put alcohol and coffee together.
Because we don't grow coffee here either.
We don't. So one of the guests said, hey, is that a Brazilian coffee? And Joe Sheridan said, no. That's an Irish coffee. Now, going into Foynes quite a lot of the time was like military, politicians, celebrities. There's a very famous photo of Arthur Miller and Marilyn Monroe drinking Irish coffees down there together.
And so it just kind of popularised the drink worldwide.
Well, journalists were also a big part of that. So there was a journalist called Stanton Delaplane, and he came in and
appropriately.
Exactly. And he wrote an article
please.
called it in the San Francisco Chronicles, a column about like just life in general, and he wrote one about the Irish coffee, and he actually went back and forth quite a few times just to try the Irish coffee, get the whiskey that Joe was using at the time, and he tried to recreate it in his local bar in San Francisco, which was the Buena Vista, with a guy called Jack Culpepper who owned the Buena Vista.
Great names here.
Brilliant, aren't they? These are just great. They all sound like a detective. Get Jack Culpepper on the case, he'll crack it wide open. And apparently the story goes they spent a couple of days trying to float the cream.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. And like the story goes, they stumbled out into San Francisco, nearly got knocked down by a tram. Then the next day they tried to do it all over again. And the mayor of San Francisco at the time owned a dairy creamery, and he happened to walk by or whatever. And he was like, no, the reason your cream isn't floating is because of the protein. And he got them a 2-day-old cream, which is still used in the Buena Vista today to make their Irish coffee.
Okay.
one thing we have been terrible at as a nation is making Irish coffees. You know, sometimes with the cream, you know,
the amount of times they'll be like, absolutely don't. We're not making an Irish coffee, like, you know.
Yeah, because we don't like making it. You hear the espresso machine going, you're like, oh, it's going to be. Then you see the 2 red straws sometimes. Then the Dead Rabbit kind of popularised it in the past couple of years. They just wanted to nail classic Irish coffees about 8-9 years ago.
Only kind of indigenous cocktail, classic cocktail from Ireland, really.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing else really out there, I guess, is there?
No, it kind of pains me. There are a few that are very, very big Irish whiskey ones.
But they weren't developed
They weren't developed here, yeah. So like you've got the Blackthorn, the Tipperary and stuff, but...
They just sound so twee, don't they? They're saying like, ta-ta-ta, you know, let's get an old Blackthorn.
But yeah, Irish coffee, we touch a spice. It's great in a Christmas evening, sitting watching The Wizard of Oz for the 33rd time.
To be fair, you can only get them in Dublin. I ordered them in Wexford, people just go, they will roll their eyes like.
Yeah, I sometimes now, obviously being in drinks, like my friends and family know I'm into it. So if I call around Christmas, you'll just hear like the whisk going in the kitchen. You're like, oh fuck, and like the Irish coffee, it's like Everest. It's like trying to get it in. You're like trying to navigate the meringue, and again, love that you're trying to make them, but don't. But like the trick, I think, to a good Irish coffee, not to overcomplicate it, is you need like sweeter coffee than you would normally drink.
Okay.
Really cold cream. Okay. With a slight kick in it. So like this is like obviously perfect, and not too much whiskey, because the size of the glass will matter. So if you put a wee shot of whiskey in this, it won't matter.
You're just talking like a standard blended Irish whiskey.
It's the sum of all its parts. It's like any good cocktail. Like no one, like in the classical music world, people always make fun of the viola.
Okay.
But if you took a viola out of an orchestra, the orchestra ensemble and crescendo wouldn't be as perfect. So again, you want the sum of all its parts. You don't need to taste the sum of it.
More even than the sum of its parts. Because we often taste drinks, I think the one you always call out was the Black Velvet, which is less than the sum of its parts. So it's champagne and Guinness.
That's true.
You bring them together and they're worse. Whereas you bring these all together and they are better.
I agree, yeah. Anyway, we're babbling.
Don't overcomplicate it. Look, producer Dan has just given me a little nod there. And he's told us we have a very special guest just for Christmas.
We do. I can actually see the guest just over your shoulder.
Oh.
Just to surprise you. We have spoken about this guest in a previous episode.
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. Let me see if you can guess. Spoken about this guest in a previous episode. Oh, he's so excited. Oh, he's like a kid on Christmas Day.
He's jumping up and down.
He is.
It's Christmas. It's like Elf all over again.
It is.
Let's see who we got.
So, no, I'm going to... You guess.
Oh, I'm going to guess.
So, we've spoken about him in a previous episode.
Which episode?
He has been if I tell you that, you'll get it. He's been immortalised in one of the best pubs in the world.
I mean, we've been to so many of them.
Via his art.
Dick Max.
In
Dingle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it's Kevin.
It is Kevin.
Kevin Abrook.
Yeah.
Kevin Abrook, come on down.
Woohoo!
So Kevin, whiskey enthusiast, whiskey marketeer, artist. Thank you for joining us on the show.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
Yeah. It's rare we actually get to welcome people legitimately, because usually we're in their pubs or their bars or whatever. So yeah, we can actually genuinely say welcome to Poor Decisions HQ. No expense spared. Again, loads of money spent on the place. So listen, you're welcome.
Yeah, don't use the toilets. There's asbestos.
Oh.
So Kevin Abrook, for those people out there who don't know Kevin, do you want to give us a little intro to you, who you are, what you do, what you did? What you're doing now?
Like your LinkedIn CV.
Oh, my
LinkedIn. Give us your elevator pitch for you. You know?
Elevator pitch for me, nearly 30 years in the drinks industry, latterly as Global Whiskey Specialist for Innovation at William Grant's.
Nice
Best
title.
job title in the world.
Yeah, nice title.
But I got into drinks industry basically because I married an Irish girl who wanted to come home. So that was in 1990.
It's always a bad decision. That's a poor decision.
Poor decision, yeah. the Graw of the Green. So we were living in England and she came over and I was working for C&C Group. And then in 1994, C&C Group acquired the Tullamore Dew brand from Irish Distillers. And at that time, I was global marketing manager for Tullamore Dew. So that's really what got me into Irish whiskey. And then in 2010, I think, William Grant's acquired the Tullamore Dew brand, and me along with it. And I was working mainly on Scotch and in innovation in Dublin. William Grant's innovation.
Oh yeah, the head office is here in Dublin.
Head office is in Dublin because of Tullamore Dew.
Because of tax. But so 1990. What were you doing in 1990, Ro?
I was being born.
Yeah, same.
Okay,
just
yeah.
not to date Kevin on this, not to age you or anything.
Well, also I should add that yes, I'm retired now. Although still, my wife says, "I thought you were retired." I mean, I'm on the cast committee for the Irish Whisky Society, on the events committee. I teach WSET Level 2 here at the Dublin Bar Academy because I've got the diploma in wines and spirits. So it's not just whiskey; it's wine I love as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to leave behind. It is like we all work or have worked in the industry. It is a nice place to work, and it's a nice hobby to keep on after you finish, I suppose, because that's how I know you from various tastings and stuff.
Exactly. But it's such an incestuous business in a good way. But people from competitors know each other, and whiskey and wine. It's all about facilitating enjoyment, and it's about conviviality, and it's very hard to leave that, because that was one of the things that motivated me, was just helping people appreciate the joys of whiskey and wine, and it's a fantastic industry for that.
You're being very PC, Kevin. We actually know what you're saying. Kevin fucking loves the sesh. That's what he said.
He does, yeah. I remember the first time I met Kevin, he was singing songs on the back of a bus coming out of Dingle, and I was like, who's this fella with the English accent? Singing well, I won't say what type of songs he was singing, but...
People know me.
People know me. Ooh, there he is, flexing on our podcast.
So, I mean, are you going to tell us you're responsible for the global growth of Tullamore Dew?
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, no, John Queen will say he's responsible for the global growth of Tullamore Dew.
Well, he's not on our podcast.
We couldn't afford John.
Yeah, couldn't afford John. Yeah. I would have been sort of developing the strategy as the global marketing manager at the time. Yeah. And one of the things I'm very proud of is I launched Tullamore Dew 12-year-old. So nice. that would be my go-to dram. It's just such a brilliant drink. But with any big company, you've got a team of distributors, and it
was all
it's all me.
Tullamore Dew is a funny one, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people in Ireland, it doesn't have the presence in Ireland that it probably has globally. I think because it's a million cases globally.
Yes,
and like in the US, it's massive. It's everywhere. Whereas, in Ireland, I think
Redacted's bigger.
Yeah, we're the biggest brand. But I think so when you go to the US, and I think a lot of people in Ireland don't realize how big Tullamore Dew is when they get to the US. Like it's billboards in Times Square type of thing. Like,
but it was huge on the continent. So it was the number one in Germany, and then number one in Czech Republic, and sort of Scandinavia, Northern Europe. So it was a big continental brand.
I mean,
still is a big continental brand.
It was a thing when Irish Distillers had all the brands. They kind of divided the world up a little bit between some of them. So I think
Tullamore Dew was just Germany and duty free.
Yeah,
and that was it. Yeah. And that's why they sold it, because it wasn't really core to their priorities.
And it still is in the Buena Vista Irish coffee. We just spoke about the Irish coffee. So if anyone ever Googles the Irish coffee in the Buena Vista in San Francisco, you'll see them just like 30, 40 glasses long, just like pouring Tullamore Dew, followed by sugar.
Is it 600 a day or something?
Something
wild.
Little known fact, it was there's old black and white pictures, and I'm sure the Tullamore Dew visitor centre where they had the delivery of Tullamore Dew in the 50s to the Buena Vista Cafe. So it's always been linked to the Buena Vista historically.
Yeah, nice. So Christmas special. We've done your CV.
Sorry, great shirt, by the way. It's nice that some people make an effort.
Yeah. It's good that you'll get one compliment on that this year. But yeah, so Christmas for you, Kevin. What does it look like? Like, what do you get up to? What's a Christmas day?
What's your Christmas day tipple even, like,
Oh, Christmas day tipple. I know this is sort of a bit cliched, but yeah, Bucks Fizz in the morning.
Nice, yeah.
Nice. So
do you make it, or do you purchase it from M&S? Like,
oh no, we make it.
Yeah.
How'd you get the champagne out?
He's clearly more middle class than you are.
That's because he's clearly more English than you. One.
But the thing with Christmas, you have to pace yourselves, because I like get the nice wines out for Christmas. No, not at all.
Well, I'm the same. I'm like you, Kevin. He's a Hallion. He's like a Ford Focus in a council estate going 100 mile an hour. No stopping him, but smells of smoke.
All gas, no brakes,
And then like we've been touched on whiskey and wine, but I mean gin's quite big in our family. So my wife and my daughter big, and my sister-in-law big gin aficionados. So there'll be some G&Ts, I'm sure.
And like we did speak about your like old brand that you used to work for, but you are part of a distillery in Ireland, and they have a gin.
They do, oh yeah. So I'm not part of. I'm a non-executive director for Loch Mask, and actually it was because I've never heard of Loch. You know, where are they? They're in.
And neither
Loch
did
Mask,
anyone
County
else in
Mayo.
this podcast until they're now.
But it was my daughter who introduced me to Loch Mask. She said, "You've got to try this gin, Loch Mask gin. Never heard." And it's my kind of gin, real juniper forward. And so I thought, well, Loch Mask. I looked them up, and they had this. When I looked at this really dinky still. It's more like a cognac still, so it's got a Chapeau and a Col de Cine. I thought, that's really cool. And then they had an investment scheme, as a lot of these new distilleries do, and I invested in it. And again, that was because a lot of these schemes, you have minimum of 10 or 20 grand. This is like 1 or 2 grand. So I thought, oh yeah, I invested in it. And then they found out I'd invested in it. And then Dominic said, would you mind becoming a non-executive director? I said, sure. So
it's a cool. Like I was up there a few years ago. I was in Ashford Castle, and went across to Nolly, who's the F&B guy up in Ashford Castle. They were pouring Loch Mask, and I was like, "Where's?" And he's like, "Oh, it's out the road. It's half an hour, 40 minutes away or whatever." And I was like, "Right, I'll go out for a spin." And similar to that, I went in and looked at the stills, and I think at the time the guy who was giving me the tour, he was like, "It's not so much a distillery as it is a drippery. We do about a cask a week, kind of thing."
Yeah, that's right. So it's only 1,000 litres.
Yeah,
still. Yeah,
which is amazing. But the quality of the spirit is class. It's really
you
good.
tried it at the whiskey. Southeast Whiskey Festival last year when they were down there.
Get your tickets
Southeast
now.
Whiskey Festival. But the new make is just, isn't it just stunning?
Yeah, and
it's
I think
amazing.
Similar to another distillery we visited recently, Cologne. It's that small still. It's that copper contact. You're getting an amazing spirit type, and I guess that kind of ties into.
Artisanal.
Artisanal, absolutely. Yeah. And I guess you were working a lot on Scotch in the previous life, and like you've seen Irish. I guess in the span of your career, you've seen Irish just change completely from what it was when it started to when you finished, I guess, as well. And that's Loch Mask is very much a part of that.
One of the new distilleries. But I tell you what, it is so hard. Coming from a big industry background, I like to think I can help them. But when you work with William Grant, we need that.
Throw £1 million at it.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but oh no, get an agency to do that, or there's the logistics department to do that. These small distilleries, there's 5 people. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
It is hard. It is tough.
It's interesting. Obviously, Mick and I have our indie bottlers redacted, and like when we're talking about stuff like that, we're like, oh, such and such, and we're like, oh, before we just emailed someone and it got done. Now
we actually have to do things. We are the people doing the things.
And you realise like 50 quid, 100 quid, like everything's money somewhere, and it's just a very different viewpoint. But I think the craft distilleries in Ireland, like Loch Mask and Cologne, like because for them price is very obviously a sensitive issue, and they makes like one cask a week. The craft and the view on the spirit being perfect is so obvious, and it's so pinpointed that like the spirit is coming off like phenomenally well. So it's a very exciting time, I think, for the future of Irish whiskey, especially in those independent sort of spheres.
Yeah, but there does seem to be a distillery popping up every week, and we're up at about 50 now?
Yeah, we could probably do an advent calendar, of them. Speaking of advent calendars, that's not.
Did you have a nice segue there?
Yeah, I was trying to get to like a Christmas cracker joke.
Okay, go on.
What's your favourite Christmas cracker joke?
Oh, I thought that was the joke. No, okay, go ahead.
No, it isn't. No, what is your favourite Christmas cracker joke?
Why didn't the skeleton go to the ball? Because he'd no body to go with.
That's not a Christmas cracker joke.
Oh, that's a Halloween cracker joke, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Even Agostina laughed at that one.
That was a sympathy laugh.
Yeah. Kevin, St. Stephen's Day or Boxing Day?
I've been living in Ireland for 30 years, so it's St. Stephen's Day now. And I'm an Irish citizen now, by the way. So.
I mean, so is Ronan, but he still calls it Boxing Day.
They're giving you passports. Next thing, McGregor will be president.
No, but Stephen's Day is always a big thing over here, and I think,
I mean, is it? What are the big, like, have you know? Is there a big difference between England and Ireland from a Christmas Day perspective?
I think so, because I think ham The ham is bigger over here.
Yeah, no worries.
So you know, at home, I come from Orpington in Kent, about 30 miles southeast of London. We'd never have had ham with the turkey.
Yeah.
Whereas over here in our family, anyway, people are sort of, they're racing to sort of get into the ham. So the ham is just as important as the turkey.
I prefer the ham.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of a poultry. Do you ever have goose? I mean, you're English. Goose is like strikes me as like Bob Cratchit bringing home the Christmas goose.
Well, I know in England, like the 5 duck. There's like a
the
5
turducken?
bird sort of thing, but that's like really, really posh.
Oh yeah, sweet version. No, yeah, we've had goose before.
Yeah. St. Stephen's Day, did you go for a wee sea swim?
I do not go for a wee sea swim. No,
But you live in Kildare, so I mean, it's not exactly.
Go for a long walk. Yeah,
Nice,
Go for a long walk.
Pet the ponies.
Yeah.
You know, do you do any art at Christmas? Like, because obviously now you're an artist.
I mean,
you have your own studio. We've seen
He's
it on social media.
immortalized me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you top that.
That's well, we'll see. I've plans, but yeah, no, because that's since I've retired, I've been trying to, notwithstanding all the whiskey stuff I'm still doing, trying to establish myself as an artist. Something I was always good at school, had an A level, and about 25 years ago, doing a lot of watercolors, and then work gets in the way. Or actually, it doesn't get in the way. You make excuses. Then now since I've retired, it's been great to get back in and express my creative side.
And I did see the other day, you did a beautiful like whiskey glass with like big ice in it. You did that painting.
Oh yeah, just a little sketch of an old fashioned. Yeah, because actually it was when I met you at the World Whiskey Awards. It was you said, Kevin, you should do more whiskey and art because I don't have any particular genre. I like painting seascapes and trees and done a couple of distilleries, but you said, come on, whiskey and art, it's a natural for you. And yeah.
And it worked so well.
And the whiskey nerds will buy it, man. You know what I mean? They're out there.
Yeah,
they'll buy it.
Oh, we went through a few. Yeah, and ever since you did that fever dream picture of him that still haunts all of us, you can only go up from there. But yeah, do you do like a Christmas? Do you do like the Christmas? Do you paint like a Christmas card for the family? No, I know some people do that.
Well,
do you do mugs?
actually, what I've done this Christmas is I've painted a couple of elves, and
right.
I think it's only right that I should show you this piece.
Yeah. Oh my God, you brought art with you.
I've brought art with me.
No way.
Like I'm scared now.
Yeah.
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 It's like art attack.
It's just a picture of Agostina because she's about 4'3", just with a Santa hat. Elf, Argentinian elf.
Elf on the shelf.
Elf on the shelf. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, she's running now. She's running. She has some art.
Nice.
You should get a hat. You should get your elf hat on.
So I don't think there is an elf hat for me. Agostina needs white gloves to be working with this one.
Sorry, we're going to try open this with a butter knife, are we?
This with a butter.
Nice.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. I've got to be very careful here.
This is obviously very precious.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by this.
Is, where
I can see producer Dan laughing.
Where are we going to hang this?
Was this commissioned?
It had to be done. It had to be done. Do you reckon?
I love you.
Listen,
Ronan looks like an elf with the pointy, with like Lord of the Rings with the pointy ears.
Do you remember you know what you said in your first episode?
I have no idea.
Ronan Collins' left ear.
This is like you talked about the last one being a fever dream. This is just like
Yeah.
sorry, can we
Yeah.
look at this? Like,
Wow.
this deserves a place in a gallery somewhere.
Well, I can't wait to see like how much this gets at Sotheby's.
Yeah. This is.
There's so many things I want to start saying, but I know it'll get cut out.
We can look at me. I'm looking up at something and wonder. Ronan is looking at me and wonder, which is generally how things tend to go.
You have a bigger head than me.
Yes.
Yeah, which I don't know if
But
that's.
he's
correct
in the
scale.
foreground.
Oh, okay,
He's in the
yeah,
foreground.
yeah.
Oh,
So-
depth. I like that.
Depth, yeah.
Get a. Let Agostina.
Will we recreate it? So I'll look at you from behind it, and you look up.
Love it. Perfect.
Nice.
He's looking up at the mistletoe.
I mean, this is this the greatest present you've ever received?
yes.
Today. Yeah. That is hilarious, though. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
We're genuinely speechless.
Will we do it like a divorced family? I'll take it this Christmas. You take it next Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Get it framed,
My mum will hate this.
She will
little
hate it
pixie ears.
so much. I love it, but she will hate it.
My girlfriend would hate this. Like, you know, she'd be like, the last thing we need is another photo or picture of you and Ronan.
Which we disagree with. We think there should be
Wholeheartedly.
more.
Wholeheartedly. I mean, it took me a moment to recover from the shock. You just hold that there.
Yeah.
Kev, thank you very much.
You're
that
welcome.
was brilliant. That's that's a quality present.
Yeah.
The
We have nothing for you.
yeah, we've nothing. We've nothing except our love and admiration. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
it's worth
that
more
goes
than
far.
anything. Yeah.
That's worth more than anything. Mark.
We I don't know if I hope producer Dan has tipped you off on this one. We do a thing called Room 101. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Yeah, I'm familiar
okay.
with it.
So, you know, you're a long-time veteran of the drinks industry. And Room 101 is pick something in the drinks industry, disappears forever. We put it in a room, it's gone forever. And we ask every guest that comes on, or at least every guest we remember to ask this and question. So one thing in the drinks industry that you'd get rid of, put in a room, disappear forever.
And it can't be us.
It can't. No, oh, that would never happen, Rowan. Yeah, it's the notion that blended Scotch or blended whiskies are inferior to single malts and single pot stills. I mean, I love blends, and there's so much snobbery around single malts. But if you think about Scotch whiskey industry was built on blends, and still today, I think it's
80-90% of the market.
yeah.
like,
Well, I was going to say 90% is
Yeah.
probably so it's 10 to 12% single malt.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I remember reading a book in the history of Johnny Walker from the 1890s, whatever. And they were like, "We're going to make everybody drink single malt," and you never will, because the public will want blends. You can get lovely complex blends, and that's what people are going.
Exactly,
That's the majority of what people are going to drink. Like Tullamore Dew is a great example of they do blending. You know, there's some great blends, like with the Tullamore Dews. Like,
I
yeah.
love that though. That there's a great one that we've had. Like throw that in the room. The keys are locked.
But I fully agree with you. Fully agree.
Effect into the Liffey. Yeah, so don't be such a snob. Blends are class sometimes. Too.
No, I mean, I get it. Single malts, it's single provenance and the history. I get it, but when people say, blends aren't as complex as single malts, rubbish.
That would be
Blends
like you
all about
paint-
the flavor. For me, it's all about the flavor rather than the provenance.
It's
and I love blends.
more than the sum of its parts. Like
You're
we're
right.
talking
It would be like you painting with a single colour and a single paintbrush. Without the colours and the different paintbrushes blended together, you wouldn't have this perfectly fine masterpiece.
Exactly.
And that's the only word. And I think on that note, Kevin, thank you very much.
Yes,
really appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Listen,
Cheers, guys.
Merry
really,
Christmas.
really genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. And so did the public. Yeah.
Cheers. I have to bring this back in the bus. I got my Christmas hat back off, Kevin.
Yeah. I think he needs it more for the. So, mate, we always do a snack. All right.
yeah.
Today I have a Christmas snack for you.
Nice.
We're not going to rate this snack. It doesn't go in the pyramid because this is it's a seasonal. It's a festive snack.
Maybe someday we'll be so popular with Poor Decisions, we'll have a Christmas pyramid of snack. We'll have so many snacks.
Year 10 of our Christmas episode.
Oh, could you imagine?
Imagine, look how good this one is. Like
Yeah,
making
this
on
is
it.
brilliant.
So, classic Christmas snack. All right.
Yeah.
These are mince pies.
Nice. Here, they look good as well.
Yeah. We got these local bakery. I don't actually like mince pies. I would actually prefer if they were mince as opposed to this kind of fruit filling.
Yeah, but isn't it mad how they still call it mince meat? And you're like, but it's not.
Yeah,
So
I prefer beef, like an empanada or something Like,
sounds like, do you want a mince pie? And they give you an empanada.
I'd
You'd
be
be like,
so much happier. I saw producer Augustina when I said empanada, her face just went.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah. So
Right.
so I got these locally in proper order coffee here in Smithfield. It's actually good. Okay. I'm a bit skeptical. I don't know that I've ever had one that I've been like, oh, that was class. Okay. There's a lot of
That could be one of the best mince pies I've ever had.
Okay. Let me have a little tasty in here.
Because it's one of those things that, it's quite divisive at Christmas. And now even on the line, people are like, where do you get your best mince pie? Do you get it from this shop or whatever? And
That's
the
really
crust,
good.
isn't it good?
The pastry is really good. Yeah.
Flaky pastry, sweet mince meat, even though it's berries and shit.
That is actually lovely.
Isn't it great?
I didn't expect that.
No, neither did I.
Because I've only had, you get the ones from Marks and Spencer's or wherever other stores are available, and they're just
No,
not.
they are the best mince pies I've ever had.
Yeah, no, I can comfortably say that. That is
And on Christmas Day, you would have a mince pie. What would you have anything to drink with it?
cognac.
Nice.
Yeah, Christmas is the one time of year I buy cognac and brandy and whatever. And tend to try get like something obscure. Go to the like Celtic whiskey shop or Irish malts or wherever, and just like, what's the weirdest thing you have? You know?
Yeah.
And there's a bit out there. You don't just have to buy the big brands.
That's true. I will have more of this mince pie. That if we did have a pyramid, that would go to the top of the pyramid.
I'm genuinely shocked, and I actually will eat that.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
Proper order coffee.
Unbelievable. Like, definitely shout that out because they deserve whatever their mince pie
They deserve
goodness
all
is.
the love in the world.
Another thing that we love to drink all year round, but we'll definitely be drinking a lot of on Christmas, champagne.
Champagne. Always a big fan.
We just said champagne on Christmas Day. Mick, I bought you a present.
Is it champagne? That's nicely wrapped.
It's nicely wrapped, yeah. There's actually two presents. Do you want them one at a time or both together?
It's too much choice.
Okay, have both of them together.
Is the wrapping, is that part of my present?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's
yeah.
an egg cup. It's a kilt. Ah, I see. You were in Scotland recently.
Last night.
Yeah. Okay. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just what I wanted to keep my eggs in.
Nice.
Thank you so much for
No problem.
And then the other one is. Is it a small sparkly cow?
Yeah,
It's a Highland coo.
yeah, exactly. So it's a small sparkly cow. So otherwise, because I had a lot of time in duty free to think about this, I would call it a disco.
Sparkly. I fail to see what this has to do with champagne.
Oh, I didn't get you champagne, lad.
Oh, okay.
No, I just got you shade items from the duty free because producer Dan was like, "Don't forget the presents for tomorrow," and I was like, "I have."
Well, I got you something I think that you'll really appreciate.
Does it go pop?
And I know it's been a tough year. So I said, look, what would Ronan appreciate more than anything else? And what I got you
Is it a pony?
is 20 quid.
Very good.
Because that's what he needs to get the bus home.
Yeah, it is. And you see, if you had to give me an egg cup, I would have been raging.
But yeah, that's just a token of my appreciation. And, we had a great year together. Did loads. And I think to many more.
Here's to another one.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of wraps up our Christmas episode.
I think so.
I think that's top.
I think we were brilliant.
I think we were class. Kevin, you were okay.
Yeah, he did dip the episode a
Yeah,
bit.
it wasn't great. Like,
No.
but it was nice to see him all the time. And this.
Yeah.
I mean, which one of us gets to take this home?
Well, the mince pie or the painting?
Both.
I'll take it this year.
Okay.
You can have it every other year.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my miss is gonna hate that.
Yeah, but next year you probably won't be around, so.
Like, share, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below. Yeah, she's gonna murder you. Hit the subscribe button down below. Merry Christmas, and we hope you're watching this on like Christmas Day, and you're sharing this with your family, and they're going, "Who are these?"
Yeah. Spread the Christmas
Cheer.
Spread the Christmas joy and family cheer and, enjoy it. And remember, just be nice.
Stephen's Day. Stephen's Day.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, whatever.
Are we doing a New Year's show? Did we say that?
I'm kind of sick of you already.
Happy New Year?
Yeah, I don't know. Right, we're done. Full Christmas. Bah humbug.